loving your enemies. Romans 12:14, 17 through 21 says, "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, 'It is mine to avenge, I will repay,' says the Lord. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Wow, that is a lot when you think about it. What does it mean to love your enemies? Well, an enemy is somebody who's fighting against you. Now, unfortunately, those of us in difficult relationships know that sometimes our enemy is our family member, it's our spouse, it's our child, it's our parent, it's our in-law, it's our sibling. It's somebody that shouldn't be against us, who shouldn't be wanting our demise, who shouldn't be willing to hurt us. But unfortunately, the reality is, because of sin in the world, sin in our relationships, that it is often those closest to us who mistreat us the most. So when somebody brings pain, dysfunction, problems into your life, into their own life, into the relationship, and they appear to be against you, they're malicious, they're angry, they're abusive, they're manipulative, they're hostile, they're mean, they're taking revenge on us. They don't care about us. They don't care about our pain. And they seem like they're against us all the time. What do we do? Well, the opposite of love is hate. So if we're not feeling loving, we might be feeling hate. And hate is nothing more than strong emotions. And those strong emotions rise up in us when we're being hurt and when things are very painful for us. But that strong emotion of hate can turn into that hate and that feeling that's targeted on somebody for what they're doing, that's so full of pain, can turn into a desire to punish and to get revenge and to want retaliation. And it is this that God in the Old and the New Testament repeatedly tells us that we are not supposed to do. We are not to seek revenge and try to bring down those that are hurtful to us. We are not to treat them the same. We are to treat them differently, regardless of how they're treating us. We are responsible for how we respond to them, and we are responsible to make right choices. We're all going to give an accounting to the Lord of our actions when we see Him. And we're going to be asked not what the other person did, but how we responded. So we're not going to be at all responsible for the other person, but we are going to be responsible for ourselves. Now, I don't want you to beat yourself up. It's normal to feel those strong emotions. It's normal to, in our humanness, we want somebody to suffer when they hurt us. In our humanness, we want to punch back. We have a self-protective mechanism, a fight or flight syndrome. That fight makes us geared up to want to protect ourselves and defend and fight back. But the problem is that when we do that, we often do it with things that are returning evil for evil, and we're getting down on the same level of the person, and it's not okay. And we've got to really work on understanding what it means to respond to evil with a blessing, and to not respond to a curse with a curse, but to respond with a blessing. So this doesn't mean that it's not okay and good to set boundaries, speak your truth, take care of yourself, protect yourself, do all of those things that you need to do in a relationship to fight for what's good and fight for what's healthy and set limits and say no. But this is about how you treat that person. Do you treat them with contempt? Do you treat them with hostility? Do you treat them with by responding sarcastically and by giving them little digs? Do you in your heart wish that they would die, that they would hurt? I mean, when you feel these things, it's a sign to you, not that you're a horrible person. It's a sign that there's a lot of pain in the relationship. It's a sign that there's stuff going on that's really hurtful. So you can pay attention to that stuff, feel it, and say, wow, this is how I'm feeling because of what's happening, but I've got to figure out how to replace this with different feelings. I can set boundaries, but I shouldn't mistreat this person. I shouldn't treat them like they treat me. Proverbs 24:17 says, do not gloat when your enemy falls. When he stumbles, do not let your heart rejoice, or the Lord will see and disapprove and turn his wrath away from him. Now, when we treat somebody, when we get down on the same level with them, we become a part of the problem. It's very easy for them to very self-righteously point the finger back at us and say, really? You think I'm a problem? Well, look at you. And then we know we're a part of the problem, and then we can't effectively set a boundary with them on their behavior because we've gotten down on the same level. So what we have to do is we have to rise above it. We have to be different. We have to be better than, so that we can set some limits and we can point out things and find out that it's okay to set standards in the relationship. God is just, and God stands for truth, righteousness, justice, and he ultimately is the righteous judge. And he says in here that he will take his own revenge. He will get set consequences. He will be the one that will have people give an accounting for their every word. So we can know that God is fighting for us, and God is doing that. So what do? Instead of you're treating your loved one or this person that's out to get you, you treat them with respect, you treat them with kindness, you treat them with courtesy, you do things kindly in return, as long as you're not a doormat, as long as you're not letting them walk all over you. You do not have to stand there and take abuse. So I'm not talking about not having boundaries, but I'm talking about not getting down on that same level. And if you think about this, if there's somebody that you really have bitterness towards and who's really hateful, try praying for them for 30 days and asking God to bless them with every single thing you want for you. Each of those 30 days, pray, God, bless this person with financial prosperity. The next day, pray intensely that God would bless this person with good health, that God would bless this person with good relationships, that God would bless this person with friends, that God would bless this person. Go down the list. Make a list of 30 things that you desperately want for yourself. And for 30 days, pray for that God would give this person. And, eventually you'll start out thinking, I don't want it. I don't want you to really do that for him, God. And then towards the end, as God begins to change your heart and you begin to feel love for this broken person who has all these imperfections and problems, and who knows, might have been hurt and wounded by other people themselves, not be able to handle things well, you can begin to actually feel compassion. And there may be a shift, and I've talked to many people that have done this, I've done it myself, and there's a shift in your heart, a place where you go from wanting this person to stumble and fall to wanting this person to be blessed. And when you do that, it lifts this hatred and this pain off of you, and it replaces it with love, but it sets you free in the process. Thank you for watching this video on loving your enemies from Change My Relationship.